Today, before we go riding, we are going to do a review on these two brutes. This is a 16, this is 2012. Pretty much the same thing when it comes to power and the way they built them, which they changed in 2012. You know, improving the clutching, better belt, radiator hoses, take care of overheating and tough situations. The difference I can say over here is if you come over here and look, you'll notice, you'll check out this muffler, and this is, they changed this to do emissions. And then you come over here to this muffler, you'll notice it is different. They do sound a little different. I guess the difference is, emissions. They put a different throttle body on the 15s up, and these don't have that emissions. So, to start off, if you look at these brutes, in general, this is a sport utility, and I kind of want to emphasize sport more so. It's got the longer seat, more flatter. It does bubble out for comfort. Really, when you first get on a brute compared to a Yamaha or a Suzuki or a Honda, it will feel weird. You're going to notice that, oh man, this is different. Well, it is. And it's more designed for sport riding with that, wonderful hint of utility. But you have to consider, when you are going to buy a brute, it will feel different. I've owned a 05 Suzuki 700. We got this MV over here that is kind of, for friends to ride. I have a Yamaha 08, and when I first sat on this, I was like, whoa, this is weird. But, one ride, 4 or 5 hour ride, and then you get on one of those, and you can tell that this is designed for, riding, being able to move on your seat. Suspension. The suspension in this is rougher. It is stiffer. There's a reason that this suspension is stiffer. It is because you're going 30, 40 miles an hour, and you are hitting bumps, and you do not want to bottom out. You want to be able to hit a jump, a Kelly hump, and get freaked out. Oh shit, and you hit it, and you're fine. You ain't bottoming out in most cases. Before I bought this, I test drove this on the dealer's track. Then I test drove a 16 Yamaha Grizzly. Then I went back and test drove this. And there is a major difference in the ride. This is stiffer feeling, but as you pick up the speed, the suspension works better. So they have done something that is more sport than utility. And my suggestion is, if that is a huge issue, I would go with Elka shocks. $1,200 for a set of 4, stage 3. Which I'm going to get stage 4, just because I want to be able to set the compression down so I can, hit a little bigger Kelly humps that you'll see that we do have up here from the loggers. I want to be able to jump those, and I'm a little heavier dude, so that causes me grief. Anyhow, the engine is freaking fabulous. Made it with this clutch. I can say this, it has throttle response. That is what the brute has, and no other machine. My wife has a 15 Polaris 850, and yeah, that thing's fast. That thing gets up and goes. It's fun. I like it, but it does not have throttle response down low where you can zip and go. and just hit that throttle and it's gone. The Polaris doesn't have that. The other thing you got to look at is this is about 44 inches wide. And people will say, this is tippy. It is tippier. You go wide because it is definitely not as wide. They do have the center of gravity down lower. You don't have as much clearance. And that's for, riding hard. And, getting after it. You want, they're putting you a little higher in the seat, which technically is not higher. It's 1 inch higher than the Grizzly. But it feels higher because this is flatter, which I love the seat. It's just comfortable. Another thing with this is you can ride your little niece up front. I can sit here, she can sit here, she kind of grabs right here, and I got room. I can actually scoot back, which I cannot do on my Yamaha and that Polaris. When I'm riding that Polaris with her, she's like cramped really up tight to that. Same thing with the Yamaha. I'm out here like this, but I can ride her up front here. I just freaking got a kick out of that I had room. The biggest thing to get out of this is sporty machine, and it has throttle response. It is freaking fun. That's what I gotta say. It's fun. It's well built. You can ride these things freaking hard. You can jump them. You can go in tight woods, and this thing flat freaking, it feels a lot smaller than the Grizzly. It just, the Grizzly has more cush, but dude, this is my trying to wheelie it compared to this. I mean, fuck, you pop a wheelie on this without even trying. That Grizzly, man, I had to really, when I tested, I had a hard time getting it to wheelie. I basically didn't get it to wheelie. But anyhow, we're going to start these up. I want you to know, it kind of stunned me. I didn't realize they had this kind of air filter, which is, I don't know. I'm okay with it. You got to clean them and it's dirty and stuff. But Scott here, he's some Brute Boys with a Z.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to both Brute Boys.
And I'm Brute Boys with an S. So anyhow, if you listen to this, we'll start this up without this on. It gives you a good impression. These things do not mess around. And if you go back here, I'm going to start mine up. If you have the camera go back here so you can hear it. I just wanted to do this nice friendly review. I ain't knocking other machines. I think there's a purpose. Yamaha's great for, trail riding. Yeah, you can put, Elkas on Yamahas. If you go money to money, really, you don't have to mess with this power. It has enough to have fun. Compared to other machines, it has way more. Right off the right when you buy it, you're buying power. You're getting a freaking badass clutch to engine, and engine braking is, you don't even talk about it. It's there. It's a really good machine for basically having fun with throttle response. So, if you were, butthurt about the suspension being stiff and $1,200 you can get the Elka Stage 3. Put them on here. You don't have to touch the power on this. You don't have to do. You just put those shocks on. You got a machine. Put wheel spacers if it bugs you. You want it wider, more stable. $1,500. The wheel spacers are $210. Put 1.5 inches on each side. Now you're right there, close to the Grizzly. and the ride. Yeah, if you just braking, has fabulous front brakes. I like the brakes in the back because when you're riding a four-wheeler, it's a little different. You know, the Grizzly, when you're at higher speeds, you hit the rear brake, it locks up real easy. Slower speeds, it feels a little better. Where this, you know, there's a little sponginess, but as you know, Dirt Rider said, you know, it works and it's manageable, very precise. You know, a little spongy, but I like the sponginess with at higher speeds and hitting the back brake. It doesn't lock up as quick. And at lower speeds, you got to lay on it a little more to get it to lock up. I typically ride in two-wheel drive. A lot of debate goes on with the locking diff. For me, it's more of an oh shit factor when I need it. I'm not much into a mudder. I don't enjoy, you know, the mudding is like other folks are more into the trails. And when I need it, which I've only needed it twice so far, you know, going up a pretty gnarly Kelly hump, you know, ditch out where they tried to stop us from going across. I came up and I'm sitting on the top going, oh shit. And I just grabbed that thing and it just got me over. And it was a pretty gnarly one. You know, the Yamahas, you obviously know, Suzuki, you stop the machine, you push the button, which, you know, for mudding, I would say is better if you get stuck and you got to get off. I, you know, personally like this better. I use it basically for the oh shit, you know, factor, the way I ride and where we go. So there's both theories behind it. You know, personally, I like that theory. I can hit it while I'm on the move. You know, when I oh shit, I need it. I want to be able to hit it. I don't want to stop this machine and freaking push a button. I want to be able to just grab that lever and get out of that mess. I, you know, typically don't put myself in because I try to ride a little on the safer side. If I find there's a hill I don't think I can make up, I'm not going to go up it. So anyhow, when you compare these, we are getting tires. Wednesday, they come in. We decided to go with the Carlisle 589, just 6-ply, just because they're lighter. We want to keep the tires the same size as what is stock. I don't want to lose any power down low. You know, that's where I'm having all my fun is you know, coming out of corners and cracking that throttle and just, you know, having that great response down low. And I know if I put, you know, 26 radials on here, I'm going to lose that from what another one of the guys told me up here. He had 26 radials and says you do lose the power down low. So I kept with the Carlisle 589s. I wasn't going to go 489, but I figured dollar for dollar I'm going to get more out of the tire because they're a ½ inch bigger knobbies. But, you know, I really, so far, you know, this one has like 1,100 miles. This one has 400 miles. I'm going to say, you know, change the oil, do our thing. But anyhow, this is the review. Before we go riding, I'm going to turn this thing back on, show you some trail riding. But I want people to know out there, you know, don't be scared of this when you sit on it. It grows on you quick, and you realize why they did what they did. A long ride, you will not bottom out on this seat. It's actually comfortable in long rides compared to my wife's 850 Polaris. Even that guy, you know, that's a comfy seat, but you know, you bottom out on it, you got to start sitting back farther and farther, and because, you know, you can start feeling the contour of that seat. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoy this review. You know, you watch these things in the woods, give you a good impression of what the power's like. You know, the fun factor. That's the biggest thing. These are fun. And sometimes I'm on a dirt road, I could use a little more power. I think, oh, you know, but on 95% of the trails I'm on, I don't need no more power. I got what I need. Anyhow, so we go riding.